episode of Mr. Badger Talks to Scum, and I'm here with an incredibly close friend of mine, the person who I once thought was dead, the lovely Paula Yates. How are you, Paula?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's been a difficult transition, but we struggle onwards, innit?
They've done wonders with your voice.
Yeah, they've done. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and they've changed your hair colour as well and turned your head upside down. That's really weird.
Oh yeah, dude. How you doing, Badger? You all right, mate?
I'm not too bad, surviving, isn't it? That's what they say, surviving.
Yeah, seen a few of you lot by the side of the road recently.
I know it's that time of year, isn't it? It's dark. We get randy. We want to go and collect some nuts. I think they call it. You got to go and get your nuts, haven't you? So yeah, sadly they're all getting knocked over by the side of the road. You lot are all right though, aren't you? You gingers, you like it when it's all dark and miserable.
Yeah, it's my natural habitat, really. To be honest with you, that's perfect for me, isn't it? Yeah. Hide away in my little ginger den.
Yeah, well, for the audio listeners, you have got a lovely, lovely red room behind you, haven't you?
Oh,
I was going to say, have you borrowed it off a madam or something?
It's a very, very low budget madam. It's a madam who's got an 80s filing cabinet for all of her. I don't know how good financial records the average madam keeps, but no, it's very depressing. It's my spare room. It's my landlord's curtain, so you can blame him, innit?
For the 80s filing, it could belong to Wayne Rooney's madam, couldn't it? It could be the one that he's banging on the side. But
indeed, yeah. Straight from the...
This isn't Paula, is it? It's not. I'm looking at my camera. I don't think you are Paula Yates. Who are you?
No, I'm Chris Yates. I'm the disappointing nephew.
Oh, I see. So you are in the Yates family, yeah.
I mean, yeah. There's quite a lot of famous Yateses, and yeah, we ain't any of them.
No, there's the pubs. I think that's it. I think that's.
Oh, there's a geezer who directed a film. Directed like a Harry Potter film or something.
Oh, I would. I'm not allowed to watch any of the Harry Potter films. I get a little bit excited because of the magic.
Just stick to the last two.
Yeah. Why do they not do magic in them?
Nah, they're just above age.
What are you trying to imply here?
Oh, nothing, mate. No, nothing at all.
Yeah, you. I've got very powerful solicitors. You watch what you say.
Fucking hell.
Oh, dear. But talking of solicitors, what we're here to talk about today is your specialist subject, and they need solicitors because we're here to talk about psychopaths, aren't we?
Not exactly.
What? Eh?
We were gonna talk about philosophy.
That's the same thing, isn't it? Isn't that what Mystic Meg was?
Ah, man, I think she was before my time, but wasn't she a wizard or something?
Yeah, what is it then?
Philosophy.
What's that?
Do you know what? It's philosophy. So philosophy basically it's what I did at uni, and basically you just grow an interesting beard and you never have to go. So it's fucking great degree.
That is just university. So.
Yeah, I know, but the threshold of incompetence before you get kicked out on a philosophy degree is it's up there. So I heartily recommend it to anyone that's got 30 grand burning a hole in their pocket. But it's basically translates the original definition of philosophy is love of wisdom.
Love of wisdom, like Norman wisdom.
Yeah, or it could be the old grannies as well. Their age comes with wisdom. Maybe that's what Wayne Rooney's true calling really was.
It could be he's trying to suck the knowledge out of their vaginas.
Indeed, yeah, indeed, and that could be maybe that's where the knowledge comes from. But yeah, it's about asking deep questions, man. About asking deep fundamental questions about life, about meaning.
How deep is that hole?
That is an important question. In fact, there's quite a lot of philosophy on what it is to be a hole.
And what it's a hole is what you're allowed to put your penis in, from what I've found out.
Yeah, but I mean, there's holes in all sorts of things. There's holes in the cheese grater, and you don't want to put your penis in that.
I sometimes do just to feel something. It's dead. It doesn't do anything now. So you studied putting your cock in things at university?
Yeah, I did, but then I'd go in occasionally and do a bit of philosophy.
Ah, so
Well,
what's that led to then? Have you got like a nice powerful job off the back of that? Are you like king of Google or something?
yeah, I work for the South Worcestershire Illuminati, basically.
Yeah. And again, it's a big branch of the Illuminati, the South Worcestershire one, from what I understand.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we cover a lot of important local government matters. We got that locked down, man. You know, but we're one of them like public Illuminati. I probably shouldn't be saying any of this. They've no idea that I'm talking to people like you.
Yeah, I was going to say, never, ever, ever give me any secrets. I'm not good with them. I blab. I say blab. I trade. I trade secrets. You know, I get away with stuff if I tell the police other things.
What sort of trades do you make? Like, what's your average secret like stock exchange?
Well, I can't name names, but let's just say a very close friend of mine told me he was taking his PC into PC World, and I went to the police and I said, "Here, my mate Gilly Glotter is taking his PC to PC World," and so the police went and they found all like pictures of illegal cheese on it. And he got arrested.
Oh man!
Yeah, and they let me off with having my laptop full of stuff that I lent to a comedian called Alex Black. So that was You want
nice. To throw them hard drives straight in the bins, man. Straight in the Tommy bins, man. With that hard drive, dude.
Yeah. I think putting them in your bins is quite a bad thing to do, isn't it? And you can't put them on eBay either. You can get in trouble doing that. It's ADHD. Yeah. It's a medical condition. All them horny children. I don't know. I can't spell. So you're here to ask about the big questions in life.
Yeah, the big questions, man. Not just what are holes and then getting sidetracked with paedophilia. There's all sorts of questions. Although, to be honest with you, paedophilia and philosophy can't. That you know, they're comfortable brethren. You know, you better heard of Plato. Plato ring any bells for you?
Yeah, it's what you put all your food on, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And why is it called a Plato? It's named after Plato, the original philosophy G, the original Don, the original man who was the first philosopher, second philosopher, something like that. But ancient Greek guy, you know, Greek geezer, and he thought that like ideas, like properties of the world. So like, say something's beautiful, yeah, he thought that was like a real property, like a physical property or whatever, and it existed in like a disconnected world of forms, and that's where like the perfect instances of everything, so like beauty and then some other ones or whatever, like I don't know, like in ugliness, I guess there's a perfect form of that as well. The perfect form of beauty, according to Plato, because people would ask him, the people would be like, Plato, you understand this world of perfect forms, what is the perfect form of beauty? Its best representation. Oh, do you?
The perfect form of beauty is a large black lady with massive tits.
That is a lot more politically correct answer than I thought you were going to give. That's very diverse, man. I welcome that.
Oh yeah.
That is a. You a fan of Lizzo? Are you by any chance?
Oh, Mr. Badger likes Lizzo. She can wear them skimpy outfits all day, I tell you. Well, she can take them off and let me sniff them.
Yeah, indeed, man. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with being made to suck bananas out of someone's clunge at work anyway. What you getting on about?
Exactly. If someone asked me to do that, I'd treat it as a bonus.
Yeah, that's one hell of a tea break, if you ask me.
Yeah. But, so have you ever sucked a banana out of a fat black lady's minge? That's a question.
That is a question. I'd say that's less of a philosophical question and more of an intensely personal question about my life. A philosophical question might be, is it right to suck bananas out of a big black lady's minge?
Answer the question. I'm going Paxman here. Answer the question, yes or no?
Do you know what? I never have. I never have. But that doesn't mean
racist.
Be honest with you. I don't know if you've met many. Well, I don't even met many ladies in general. But if you approach them and you lead with, "Can I shove some fruit up your flange and suck it out?" it's a strong opener, isn't it? You really got to. There's a lot of steps up to that.
That's your
point,
basic opener.
I
was gonna say, if you get to Wrexham, that is your basic opener. You just walk up to the mate and go, "Look, I've got some kumquats. Let's do this." That's it. That's your Saturday. There
you go. That's a composite entertainer there. You pick the funniest sounding fruit right away. Kumquat, perfect, man, perfect. This is a true professional, man. These young comedians don't know what they're missing, innit?
Exactly. Do you know how old I am?
Are we pre or post Davidson?
I'll
be around that age.
Who's Davidson?
Jim Davidson. We're talking what, 60? I'm going to say 67. 67.
You're 1 year out. I'm 66 years old. I think I'm very fresh-faced for a man who's got a buzz pass,
Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
You took your time answering that.
Yeah. Anyway, so we were talking about the perfect idea of beauty, innit? And you went the other way to what I expected, because according to Plato, the perfect idea of beauty is a 15-year-old boy.
Okay. So, well, that wasn't quite a big thing with the Greeks, was it? It was fine to have sex with little boys and that.
Yeah, they were not bothered by that at all. And it's interesting to ask the question as to nowadays that's frowned upon, but why is that wrong, innit?
Well, I probably, is it not because little boys they don't really, they mature at a different rate to girls for a start, don't they? And isn't it something like the man's brain doesn't fully mature until he's 22?
Yeah.
So he'd be making decisions with half a brain, basically. So you might as well just shag a mong.
Well, that's an interesting question as well, isn't it? Because does someone's mental capacity weigh on how morally responsible they are, and also what behavior would be appropriate with them, or is it just a matter of simple consent rather than something deeper where we might judge someone as not being of the required mental capacity to consent? That's an interesting question in itself, isn't
it? This sounds a lot like you've shagged a mong and you're just trying to justify it.
No, I haven't, but
I
won't go into it, but not everyone's clean of that sort of thing, man. I'm from the Isle of Wight, and that sort of behaviour isn't as frowned upon there. It's very much the ancient Greece of mentally disabled sexual acts.
Well, not only that, some of them are really strong, so you wouldn't be able to stop. If Christ got hold of me, I'm done for. He's just going to bum me, isn't he?
I don't know. Is into bestiality?
I don't think he knows. I think he just gets on, he pins things down and sticks his cock in them. I'd be very worried if I was.
Well, she's been his mum for a long time now. It'd be odd for him to start, today.
I don't know. He might have never had the opportunity. She might drop the cattle prod, and then he'll see his opportunity, and he'll just go in for it, won't he? He's like, "Oh, mum can't stop me now."
Well, do you remember when you went on Miss This Morning?
I do. That's a very.
I tell you what, that would have been a very different episode, wouldn't it? That would have been a real coming out party for Schofield if that had gone down that day, innit?
Yeah. Imagine if that was the news that they were keeping on the back burner just in case the Schofield news got out. It's like, well, you think that's news? Our has been banging his mum, and the only thing that's been stopping him is a cattle prod.
Shout out, every time, man. I'm sure he doesn't bum anyone who doesn't fully consent to the bumming.
No, and I will be bleeping that name out and his name. I might bleep the whole fucking podcast. Who knows?
Yeah, I was expecting a tone of a little bit of darker comedy here and there, but I didn't know we were just gonna fully accuse disabled people of sex crimes. We're just gonna list famous people with various ailments and then make up horrific things they might have done. Yeah, I'd say fair play. I'm trying to think of it. There's not so many famous disabled people. I don't know. Rosie Jones, Gangbangs Chips. Are we going to go with that?
Oh dear. I think if we carry on doing this, we're going to end up as editors of The Sun or something. We'll just have to tap a few people's phones. We'll be all right. So I think we might have gone mildly off topic here.
Yeah, a little bit.
But we were talking about some Greek fella called Plato who likes to bang kids.
Yeah, we're talking about that. You know, I just thought it was maybe an interesting way into it. But there's a lot of interesting philosophical questions, and some of them are a bit dry. But I think the moral philosophy is one of the areas where people can see how it would apply to their life, innit? You know, because we all worry about what we should be doing. Are we living life in the right way? What things are right and wrong? Are right and wrong even real things? You know, does it matter if you go around being a massive prick all the time? Like, you know, these are kind of questions that are a bit more like relatable to people, innit? You know, I'm interested to know.
If you're gonna die anyway, it doesn't, does it? Nothing matters. Just do whatever.
Are you a religious man?
I am. I'm a Christian. Yes, I'm a devout Christian.
A devout Christian who doesn't care about what happens after you die.
No, because I just say sorry to God, and then it's all right. You go, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said I was a rapist. It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. You're in heaven. Let's have a dance.
Okay, I think that referring back to it is probably going to make this podcast real easy to edit. Make it a running gag. So fucking hell. Yeah, so it's a very good point that you can't just show up at the pearly gates and apologize. But how do you really know that he's going to be so amenable to that sort of? I mean, it feels like it's duplicitous, doesn't it? He's giving you the big book of rules. Don't go around calling kids a rapist, and then you've gone. Throw that out the window on the first day. That
is not in the 10 Commandments. I'll just let you know that now. So we're allowed to do that one. I'm just not allowed to covet my neighbour's ox. I don't know what that is. I think it's shag it. Is it? I don't know.
Oh, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous of that booty, man. You know, just because you got some flat booty ass wife, don't be looking over at the neighbour's wife with the big round thing.
Big
bouncing up and down.
Don't get jealous of Lizzo's jelly. That's what it is, isn't it? That's
it. I tell you what, that's a good way of modernizing those, and that's one of the ethical theories. That's one of the ethical theories. It's called, what is it? Divine command theory. It's where basically God says it, so that's what you got to do, and there's no questions. There's no if, no buts.
Yeah.
You know. It's a bit boring, that one.
Well, on that basis, where you say that people say it, so you do it, and you know, I know people do say that Christianity, well, not just Christianity, but religions are all made up, and you know, if whatever you believe, that's fine. But even if religions are all made up, that means that somebody somewhere had a thought and put that down. So, what is so special about philosophy? Because surely people have been thinking forever.
Yeah, people have been thinking for a long time, innit? But I mean, I guess the thing is that like good philosophy, their thoughts are supposed to make sense, innit? They're not supposed to rely on like flaming bushes giving you divine information and shit like that. You can't just be like, magic dude set the bush on fire, bro, and now it's all crazy lit here, dudes. Like, you got to have a bit more. You got to have a reasoned argument in it. Like, so that's probably the difference between it and religion. But there are like religious philosophers that try and like argue, you know, their religious perspectives into existence. But like, I don't know. There's other moral theories that you can look at as well. You don't have to go that
the Dawkins brothers, weren't there? There's one that's dead now, but the one that's still alive, he's proper Christian, isn't he? Which confuses me.
The Dawkins brothers?
Yeah, you got Richard and I forgot the name of the other fucking one.
Oh, I think you're thinking of the one of them wrote for the Daily Mail, innit?
Yeah.
The Hitchens brothers, man.
Oh, that's it. Sorry, Hitchens brothers. Dawkins, the other one, innit?
Yeah, Dawkins, I think he's a solo guy. I don't know if he's got a brother. I don't think he's famous, innit? Like...
No, he hasn't. I'm just slightly confused. I'm 66. I'm slightly confused. It sounds the same. Hawkins. I don't know. Oh no, that's the one in a wheelchair, Hawkins, wasn't it? He's the one.
Fucking hell, dude. Hawkins, what? Justin Hawkins from The Darkness. That's him.
That's him.
Disabled one.
Do you
he looks disabled, I reckon.
do you consider people like Russell Brand a philosopher? Because I know that he's very, very naughty at the moment, and he's done some naughty things. But I know quite a few people consider him a philosopher.
Yeah, but those people are all, let's just say, they're all... Oh, I don't want to do these jokes, man. I work... Let's just say the people who follow Russell Brand are a bunch of fuckwits.
Right, but again, so one man's philosophy, one man's idea, and I'm not saying either way. You just discounted that. You said we won't listen to that.
Yeah, but in order, like, to be fair though, these days, like back in the day, Russell Brand was a philosopher. If Russell Brand is around in ancient Greece talking crazy shit and bumming people without their consent, then that's classic philosopher behavior, you know. Like, but these days, to be a philosopher, you got to go and get a PhD. You got to get published in a philosophy journal. You got to like go through some steps. Now these days, you got to be accredited, man. You can't just be going around being an unaccredited philosopher, just saying you're a philosopher. These days, it's a real job, man. So he's not a philosopher. He's just a dickhead.
And again, I agree with you with what you're saying. But surely that means now there's some sort of gatekeeping on the ideas that you're allowed to have.
Yeah, it does.
So is that not completely against the whole idea of philosophy, like free thinking and everything?
I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest with you. It's like,
I'm not.
Fuck, mate.
No, but that's it. It seems now that philosophy has gone from everybody can think and say whatever they want, and now we're being sort of funneled into you must think this way, and if you don't think that way, then you're wrong.
Yeah, is this trigonometry with Mr. Badger?
Oh no!
I take that mask off. There's Constantine kissing under there, like.
Oh no! He can actually speak English. I'm just like a mumble garble of vowels come out of my mouth. So no, it has just genuinely interested me how we have sort of gone from I know it is the free thinking podcast, isn't it? But we have gone from that thing where you were allowed to have different opinions and argue about it and be proven wrong. But now it seems that we're cutting people off before they get the chance to look like fucking idiots.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, I haven't really thought about it like that because most of the philosophical questions, they're like a step removed from, you know, your like cancel culture fare. It's like it's not like a philosophy on should trans people be allowed in the swimming pool. Yeah. You know, that's not like Plato didn't write a book on that. You know, it's bigger, more fundamental questions, and like, you know, some of those ideas can be offensive though, innit? Or they can lead to offensive ideas, definitely.
Yeah. Well, even just the whole sort of like the idea of religion. You look at what's going on in Israel at the moment. We're not going to broach what's going on in Israel at the moment, but religion can be a very, very damaging thing, and yet, as you've just said, philosophy is based now on fact and science. So,
yeah, that's interesting because philosophy used to be like the original philosophers. They distinguished themselves from like poets and storytellers because they were like, oh no, we're more like they didn't have a word science for it, but they was like, oh, we're more like scientists because we're like, you know, thinking about what's really happening in the world, trying to work out how the world is with our big Greek minds. And like, you know, then the other guys are just, you know, they're just chatting shit. They're just telling stories and poems and literature, that sort of thing. And that was like the divide, innit? But now philosophers, we're more like the lazy stoned layabouts smoking weed and talking bollocks. And the scientists, they're the ones that do the real shit that actually works, isn't it? Like, you know, so we've been like split off from the scientists. We're like the people that didn't want to have to learn how to do anything properly.
There's still an element of it in science, isn't it? Because people hypothesize what they think might happen because they've seen effect. So these are a lot of big words. I don't even know what I'm saying. But they see effect somewhere, like say in space, they'll see the effects of what a black hole might do. But they've got no proof that a black hole exists. They've never seen one. All they ever see is maybe the effect of it at some point in the distant past by the time light has reached us. I don't know what happened then. I think I had a coma.
Yeah, I think, yeah. As you were saying, Lizzo is big.
Yeah. But so it's science to me and philosophy are quite linked. You know, they do go together. But what I wanted to talk about there with the whole religion and philosophy thing is, back in the day, would it be quite dangerous to be a philosopher then if you're going against, say, God's word?
Yeah, definitely. Like there was quite a lot of philosophers that doubted the existence of God, that like either didn't believe in God or didn't believe that you could know for certain. And yeah, I don't know how much trouble they got in. They're usually pretty like rich dudes that, like got away with shit, but like Descartes, he's like one of the famous philosophers, a French philosopher. Have you seen The Matrix, Badger?
I have seen The Matrix. The new one's fucking shit.
Yeah, it's fucking shit. It's fucking dreadful. But yeah, the original Matrix film, basically, Descartes wrote the sort of like rough framework for that back in the, I don't know, the olden days, innit? His thing was basically like, I'm gonna see if I can doubt everything that exists, So I'm gonna be like, that chair over there, fuck that chair. I'm gonna be like, like that my mum, fuck my mum, like, everything, all the stuff.
Descartes was
yeah, even Christ was doubted,
That's what we call a callback.
I was kind of hoping you were going to cut the thing out of the podcast.
But I am. Oh no, I'm just going to bleep it that much that people are going to be going, who the fuck are you talking about? And I'm never going to tell them. It's just going to annoy people.
Hell yeah, dude. So the Descartes, he's doubting everything. He's doubting everything, left, right, and center. He doesn't believe nothing exists. He's like, okay. And his thing is like, okay, there's like a magic demon wizard fella. He's a prick. He's got me, and he's like firing weird wizard powers into my brain, making me think all this shit's real, but maybe it isn't real. Maybe it's just wizard magic. So maybe none of my perceptions can be relied upon. Nothing I know can be true. And then he goes, yeah, but if I'm being mind powered by a special wizard guy, then I definitely exist, though, innit? Like you can't make me doubt that.
Yeah.
I think therefore I am, and that's his like whole thing is I think therefore I am, and then from that he sort of extrapolates back and gets back to where he started from. But that's a good tactic. I think he fails personally in it. I think I don't think you can really be sure much exists, but
no, I don't think you can, because there's the whole theory that we're all a dream, aren't we? We're all a simulation. Like nothing exists. None of us are real.
Yeah, that's the same. That's exactly the same situation philosophically. Like, yeah, it's a complete computer simulation. Scientists have been talking about that and saying that there's no reason to not believe that could be the case. And that's definitely on the cards. So, I mean, if that's the case, though, fuck it, do what you like, innit?
What big philosophies have you come up with then, since you studied at uni and everything? What's your big brain fart you've had so far?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, I never really came up with an original idea the entire time, to be honest with you. Not gonna lie. I attended quite infrequently. But I did. I did like this interesting thing from this Australian philosopher. And Matt, there's such a thing as an Australian philosopher. Mental.
What do they philosophize over?
I don't know.
How many shits to put on the body? Yeah. That was probably the most racist thing we've said yet.
You reckon? I don't know. I reckon if that's the case, then I'm disappointed in it. I'm disappointed. But the Australian philosopher David Lewis, he reckons that like he can argue the existence of infinite universes, like real universes that actually exist. He's like, for everything that's possible. So like, there's a version of this reality that's exactly the same, but like instead of a badger, you're Mr. Fox, and you got and whatever. There's one where where everything's the same, but is he's Stephen Hawking. And
I've got so much bleeping to do on this podcast.
There's one where George is the one fucking.
Stop it!
There's one where Philip Schofield's the 15-year-old boy being bummed. Like, there's a disconnected universe for everything you could possibly imagine. And he says that that's the case because when you talk about, it's possible. So I don't know, it's possible that I wore like a different color jumper today or whatever. What that means, the only way you can fully explain the way that a sentence like that makes sense is the fact that actually did happen somewhere in a disconnected, total different universe or whatever. It sounds like an Avengers film, innit? It sounds like lazy writing. But I thought that was pretty cool.
What was that? Is it Sliding Doors? The film was called, where it's all like one tiny thing happens differently and the entire world changes.
Shit. Oh, was that like the butterfly effect?
Oh yeah, that's another one, isn't it? With I've forgotten his fucking name now. The one who was shagging Demi Moore, lucky bastard. So that again. No, oh Jesus Christ. Well, again, she wouldn't have much choice in the matter, would she? So, who's your favourite modern philosopher then?
Favorite modern philosopher? There aren't really so many like famous modern philosophers around these days, are there? Like, I mean, I guess I've always been inspired by the lyricism of the Insane Clown Posse.
I'm not sure if you can class them as philosophers.
To be honest with you, you look a little bit like the third Insane Clown Posse member.
I am like a juggalo. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, he's sort of the furry, like a furry and a juggalo. I feel like there's a lot of overlap between those two selections of, wonderful, diverse niche communities.
Yeah, but most of my fans are fucking fat virgins as well. So, hello, fans.
Yeah, like fat virgins makes up. I think that's furries. That's Mr. Badger fans, and that's juggalos. I mean, you're missing a trick here, man. Like, you should be the juggalo entertainer of choice.
Yeah. Do you know a true story about the Insane Clown Posse when they were starting out? Do you know Disney booked them? No, sorry, not Disney. They were booked for a Disney party. That was it. There was some sort of event going on, and they wanted entertainers, and they wanted it all Disney themed, and they just saw rapping clowns. So they went, "Oh yeah, we'll book them." And it's just a sea of little kids. So the Insane Clown Posse turned up and just sort of went, "Fuck it," and just did the set anyway.
Fuck it all. Yeah, man. Magnets, how do they work? See, that's philosophy.
Okay. To be fair, I've no idea. So what's the biggest question then? Because obviously there's the question of life and death, but everyone goes on about that. What's the biggest question you've ever had to ponder about?
Oh man, I mean, do we exist? Pretty big. Do you reckon that's pretty big?
It is pretty big.
You don't seem that impressed, man.
Well, no, I'm 66. I don't give a fuck if we exist. I'll be dead soon. Yeah. It doesn't matter, does it?
What about, is anything right or wrong, or is that totally meaningless? That's a big one.
I genuinely think there are things that society have told us is the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. But as I've just said, one day we'll all be dead. So just do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, but
even if the police say you're being monitored.
Yeah, but then, doing what makes you happy, if what makes you happy lands you in prison, then you're not going to be happy in the long term, are you? So you got to think a little bit more carefully about that, haven't you? Even if you're just trying to go out acting entirely for your own happiness. Yeah.
Well, I think, going back to the start of the podcast, that is what a psychopath is, isn't it? It's someone who's only interested... They're only interested in their own desires and their own sort of like gratification. They don't care about anybody else.
Indeed, and like there's a theory called utilitarianism, which is all about their moral principle is that like the right thing to do is whatever brings the greatest pleasure to the greatest number of people. Like, yes. It's all about maximizing overall pleasure. So if you're such a cunt that like you like beating to death a homeless guy or something, like, okay, he's gonna be like, I've been paid, and then he's gonna die and it's all gonna be over, and he's homeless and he's got no family and no one gives a fuck about him, so no one else is gonna care, and like you like really enjoy that, and that's like the crowning moment of your life, then they have to go, yeah, crack on, mate. If you're that much of a wanker and you love beating up homeless people until they're dead, then just go for it, innit? And you could apply that to all sorts of questionable activities. I
think that was the view taken by the very, very intelligent modern day philosopher Suella Braverman.
Yeah, a big time player in the philosophy world.
Yeah, she's just lost her job, but she's opening up a game hunting place in Somalia where you don't hunt animals, put it that way. So she'll do all right. But before we leave, we've got about like 2 or 3 minutes left. Before we leave, is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to plug?
Nah, yeah, you ain't seen me here. I don't hang out with these type of guys. I don't enjoy this sort of humor. Yeah, don't come with don't say I don't work for any kind of local government in the West Midlands area
No.
at all. So don't be trying to look me up or complain about anything. Yeah, that's about it really. Try and stay on the down low. My name is
What was that?
nothing.
But if someone did want to follow you, they wanted to follow your career, how would they go about that?
Oh no, seriously, there's literally no way.
Oh, okay.
No, I've got. There's literally nothing. There's one video of one joke of mine where I'm listed as comedian who did not want to be named in a Bush Fest compilation video. That's all that exists of my comedy career on the internet. You can find articles about. There's a few articles that are like like a review of a gig or something. But yeah, I have no social media. I have no videos of my sets. Nothing to plug. I don't say what gigs I'm doing. I couldn't give a fuck, to be honest with you, man. Like, yeah.
This is now. I'm worried. I came onto this going like this could be quite fun. Now I feel quite shocked. Is there a reason for that? Is that part of your own philosophy?
Yeah, it's part of my own philosophy. Have you ever seen open mic comedians and they put shit on the internet and it's fucking the most embarrassing shit you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah, not do that. That's my philosophy. Don't be that. Don't be one of those guys, isn't it? I won't name any names, but we could all name about 10, 15 guys on top of our head.
Oh my god! Yeah, probably a lot of them were just big disappointments, aren't they? They're big capital D disappointments. A lot of these people.
Yeah. Some people are big, a bit. Oh man, yeah. I thought you were doing a more clever. I thought you were referring to one comedian, and now I realize you're referring. No, shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to everyone who's probably seen this shit. This shit ain't easy. No, I rely on some of these people for stage time. Nah, man. Honestly, comedians. If you think comedians are a bunch of pricks, you want to try musicians. I used to be a musician. Absolute most fucking self-obsessed group of wankers you're ever gonna be. Comedians are lovely, man. Some of them are very some of them think they're fucking amazing, but they're fucking useless. But they're normally like nice, or in person anyway, nice enough.
So this was How to Make Friends and Influence People with the wonderful Chris Yates. It's been lovely chatting to you, mate. So is there anything you want to say before we go?
No, classics. Don't fuck kids. Shout out the disabled every single time doing your thing. Hold it down. I love everybody, man. I love everybody. Big love. Shout out to all my BBWs. Yeah.
Well, I would say goodbye to the boys and girls, Chris.
Nah.